Man's happiness today consists in having fun. Having fun lies in the satisfaction of consuming and taking in commodities, sights, food, drinks, cigarettes, people, lectures, books, movies. All are consumed, swallowed. The world is one great object for our appetite. A big apple, a big bottle, a big breast. We are the sucklers, the eternally expectant ones, the hopeful ones, and the eternally disappointed ones. The danger of the past was that men became slaves. The danger of the future is that men may become robots. In a world where we are constantly searching for meaning, connection, and personal fulfillment, the ideas of Erich Fromm are more relevant than ever. Fromm, a renowned German psychoanalyst and social philosopher, believed that the key to a truly fulfilling life lies in our ability to love, grow, and embrace our true selves. He explored profound questions about human nature, freedom, and what it means to live an authentic life. People do not see that the main question is not, "Am I loved?" which is to a large extent the question, "Am I approved of? Am I protected? Am I admired?" The main question is, "Can I love?" Who will tell whether one happy moment of love or the joy of breathing, or walking on a bright morning and smelling the fresh air, is not worth all the suffering and effort which life implies? His insights into love, relationships, and personal growth offer timeless lessons that can help us navigate modern challenges with greater clarity and purpose. Whether you're struggling with self-doubt, seeking deeper connections, or simply trying to understand yourself better, Fromm's ideas provide valuable guidance. The whole life of the individual is nothing but the process of giving birth to himself. Indeed, we should be fully born when we die, although it is the tragic fate of most individuals to die before they are born. If I am what I have, and if what I have is lost, who then am I? Nobody but a defeated, deflated, pathetic testimony to a wrong way of living. We may know ourselves, and yet even with all the efforts we make, we do not know ourselves. We know our fellowman, and yet we do not know him because we are not a thing, and our fellowman is not a thing. The further we reach into the depths of our being, on someone else's being, the more the goal of knowledge eludes us. Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence. Love is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. If love were only a feeling, there would be no basis for the promise to love each other forever. A feeling comes and it may go. How can I judge that it will stay forever when my act does not involve judgment and decision? In love, the paradox occurs that two beings become one and yet remain two. Love means to commit oneself without guarantee, to give oneself completely in the hope that our love will produce love in the loved person. Love is an act of faith, and whoever is of little faith is also of little love. What does one person give to another? He gives of himself. Of the most precious he has, he gives of his life. This does not necessarily mean that he sacrifices his life for the other, but that he gives him of that which is alive in him. He gives him of his joy, of his interest, of his understanding, of his knowledge, of his humor, of his sadness, of all expressions and manifestations of that which is alive in him. Immature love says, "I love you because I need you." Mature love says, "I need you because I love you." Love isn't something natural. Rather, it requires discipline, concentration, patience, faith, and the overcoming of narcissism. It isn't a feeling, it is a practice. If a person loves only one other person and is indifferent to all others, his love is not love but a symbiotic attachment or an enlarged egotism. Love is not primarily a relationship to a specific person. It is an attitude, an ordination of character, which determines the relatedness of the person to the whole world. Respect is not fear and awe. It's the ability to see a person as he is, to be aware of his unique individuality. Respect implies the absence of exploitation. I want the loved person to grow and unfold for his own sake and in his own ways, and not for the purpose of serving me. Man's main task in life is to give birth to himself, to become what he potentially is, The most important product of his effort is his own personality. The duty to be alive is the same as the duty to become oneself, to develop into the individual one potentially is. The only truly affluent are those who do not want more than they have. The basic for any approach to self-transformation is an ever-increasing awareness of reality and the shedding of illusions. That millions of people share the same forms of mental pathology does not make these people sane. One cannot be deeply responsive to the world without being saddened very often. Man is the only animal for whom his own existence is a problem which he has to solve. Modern man thinks he loses something, time, when he does not do things quickly. Yet he does not know what to do with the time he gains, except kill it. Modern man lives under the illusion that he knows what he wants, while he actually wants what he's supposed to want. In order to accept this, it is necessary to realize that to know what one really wants is not comparatively easy, as most people think, but one of the most difficult problems any human being has to solve. It is a task we frantically try to avoid by accepting ready-made goals as though they were our own. The faculty to think objectively is reason. The emotional attitude behind reason is that of humility. To be objective, to use one's reason, is possible only if one has achieved an attitude of humility, if one has emerged from the dreams of omniscience and omnipotence which one has as a child. The task we must set for ourselves is not to feel secure, but to be able to tolerate insecurity. The real opposition is that between the ego-bound man, whose existence is structured by the principle of having, and the free man, who has overcome his egocentricity. There is nothing inhuman, evil, or irrational which does not give some comfort, provided it is shared by a group. Man does not suffer so much from poverty today as he suffers from the fact that he has become a cog in a large machine, an automaton, that his life has become empty and lost its meaning. The ultimate choice for a man, inasmuch as he is given to transcend himself, is to create or destroy, to love or to hate. The more man understands and masters nature, the less he needs to use religion as a scientific explanation and as a magical device for controlling nature. We consume as we produce, without any concrete relatedness to the objects with which we deal. We live in a world of things, and our only connection with them is that we know how to manipulate or to consume them. The quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Uncertainty is the very condition to impel man to unfold his powers. If I perceive in another person mainly the surface, I perceive mainly the differences, that which separates us. If I penetrate to the core, I perceive our identity, the fact of our brotherhood. This relatedness from center to center, instead of that from periphery to periphery, is central relatedness. Creativity requires the courage to let go of certainties. A person who has not been completely alienated, who has remained sensitive and able to feel, cannot help suffering from neurosis that results from the situation of a sane man living in an insane society. The failure of modern culture lies not in its principle of individualism, not in the idea that moral virtue is the same as the pursuit of self-interest, but in the deterioration of the meaning of self-interest, not in the fact that people are too much concerned with their self-interest, but that they are not concerned enough with the interest of their real self, not in the fact that they are too selfish, but that they do not love themselves. To have faith requires courage, the ability to take a risk, the readiness even to accept pain and disappointment. People are confused and unsure. They seek answers to guide them to joy, tranquility, self-knowledge, salvation, but they also demand that it be easy to learn, that it require little or no effort, that results be quickly obtained. You do many things at once. You read, listen to the radio, talk, smoke, eat, drink. You are the consumer with the open mouth, eager and ready to swallow everything, pictures, liquor, knowledge. This lack of concentration is clearly shown in our difficulty in being alone with ourselves. To sit still without talking, smoking, reading, drinking is impossible for most people. They become nervous and fidgety, and must do something with their mouth or their hands. There is no meaning to life except the meaning man gives his life by the unfolding of his powers. To die is poignantly bitter, but the idea of having to die without having lived is unbearable. Erich Fromm's wisdom reminds us that true fulfillment comes from understanding ourselves and fostering meaningful connections with others. His timeless ideas continue to offer valuable insights into how we can live with greater love, freedom, and purpose. If you found these insights inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that helps you explore the wisdom of great thinkers. Thanks for watching and see you next time.